We welcome you into sunny Charlottesville High School Stadium, the site of USLW matchup between the Charlottesville Blues women's side and Virginia Beach United. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Engine Play. On the mic, on the call, I'm Camille Gu alongside Eli Bertoni with me. And we're here for another matchup with the Charlottesville Blues still looking for its first win after one draw and one loss in play. Meanwhile, Virginia Beach United, 2 wins, 2 losses, and coming in hot after a 2-0 win against Richmond Ivy at home. Their only away game, though, lost to Richmond Ivy 3-0, and will be looking to correct that form. Meanwhile, Charlottesville looking to score its first goal of the season against the high-flying Virginia Beach, who is leading currently the Chesapeake Division with 11 goals through its 4 matches so far. We bring you the starting lineups for both sides, starting with the visitors, Virginia United, in numerical order. Number 4, Anaya Lozano. Number 7, Nadia Laxe. Number 8, Rachel Walters. Number 9, Cheyenne Diaz. Number 11, Abigail Simon. Number 12, Anna Wheatley. Number 14, Sakiko Manabe. Number 16, Anna Gabriela Saboya. Number 20, Maria Hernandez. Number 22, Precious Edosa. And number 24, Kylie Cass. Meanwhile, for your Charlottesville Blues, in numerical order, at goalkeeper, number 1, Keely Thomas. At left back, number 3, Madeline Radke. At center back, number 4, Carly Harfouche. At right back, number 5, Abby Delves. Number 8, Charlotte Stavis in midfield. Number 11, Sandra Martins. Number 16, Bo Clausen at center back. Number 17, Phoebe Ryan, also in midfield. Number 18, Abby Schwartz up top as a striker. Number 23, Aileen Williams in midfield. And to round it all out, number 25, Kayla McGee to round out the back line. Just moments from kickoff here at Charlottesville High School Stadium with the Charlottesville Blues in the white and dark blues, and the visitors, Virginia Beach United, in their red uniforms. Eli, it seems like for Charlottesville there's been a bit of a formation change, and obviously, as we mentioned, looking for their first goal of the season at home, and there's no better place and opportunity to get on the board here at the minimum. So what do you see it being for Charlottesville in terms of how they adjust from their last loss and get on the board here in front of their home crowd?
Definitely. It looks like they're lining up in a 3-5-2 today. So putting 2 strikers up top hopefully can create a couple more goal-scoring opportunities. It also gives them a little bit more foundation at the back. We saw last week them really trying to build out through the back, and playing with 3 gives them an extra man back there to help with that.
Absolutely. Coach Nick Regan looking to switch things up a little bit with only 3 lineup changes as the game is underway now, with Charlottesville attacking from the right to the left and in possession. But it's already an early turnover, but McGee is there to cover on the back line, played into midfield. And it's Delves holding off the ball, and it'll go out for a throw-in for Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, as mentioned, with a high-flying attack so far through its 4 games in USLW play, with 11 goals, but also giving up 7, and sitting in 3rd in the Chesapeake Division. The midfielder Manabe leading the team with 3 goals, Lozano with 2, and the entire front 3 each with a goal to their names respectively to start the season. So a lot of danger in attack for the visitors. Now it's McGee here on the ball. Seems like early on, Virginia Beach ceding possession at the moment. We played out to now in this 3 center back system, Bo Clausen, and she will be a bit of a distributor. Stavis over to Delves. She's forced back, but Aileen Williams, the number 10, so to speak, dropping in a little bit deep there, tries to play it over down the wing and it'll go out for a throw-in for Charlottesville.
Williams really needs to have a good game today. Williams really needs to have a good game today. We saw last week Charlottesville struggle to play through the midfield. Hopefully the captain can provide some solidity there today and really help the Blues build forward.
Absolutely. And while you're getting more help on the wings in this 3-5-2, you're also getting a little bit more beef in the midfield. And a cross played in there, but just over the head of Martins. And Saboya will be able to get by. But now Radke on the ball on the left-hand side. All the way back to Harfouche. And she'll play it back to McGee at midfield. A high line here up as the attack for Charlottesville gets situated. A long ball in over the head of Radke, but it's going to be just too much and a throw in for Virginia Beach. Seems like Virginia Beach will be lining up in a bit of a basic 4-3-3. That's been the theme for them so far this season. That was more or less what Charlottesville had lined up in up until this point, but obviously as we see a bit of a change, and we'll see how these two styles contrast. Manabe on the ball, but it's Clausen able to win it back, and McGee once again with a lot of time and space. The pressing from Virginia Beach so far not as suffocating as Annapolis's was the other day. McGee over to Clausen. A lot of time to consider options. Sandra Martins, who usually was playing right wing as well in the first couple of games for the Blues, playing in a bit of a dual striker setup here, a little bit more central. She can play anywhere across the front three, as we've seen in her time in England, but definitely going to have to adapt to this lineup change after a couple of games on the right-hand side. And Harfouche over to McGee. Harfouche actually injured late on in the match against Annapolis, took a nasty kind of hit late and was assisted off the field, but able to immediately start the next match in that back line. So a very good sign for Nick Regan's squad that just only a couple matches ago before that Annapolis loss picked up its first clean sheet in the history of the Charlottesville Blues women's team. So looking to get back on track on the defensive side of the ball and, of course, score its first goal of the season against the Virginia Beach United that, of course, is giving goals up just as much as they are scoring them. Sandra Martin's trying to pounce on a loose ball there. And a bit of miscommunication. Martin's asking for a handball, but eventually it goes off a Virginia Beach defender, Laxey, for the throw-in. Radke will throw back to Harfouche. Tries to find Williams, but it's actually Delves dropping into midfield. She's been in that type of inverted rollout. She finds Ryan there, trying to play it in for the striker, but it's cleared. Now Virginia Beach United trying to build out. McGee a little bit late to that, but some indecision on both sides and a bit of a scrum in midfield. Hernandez on the ball, gets fouled by Ryan, and it'll be a free kick in the center of the field for the visitors. Free kick taken here, trying to play in behind, wide on the right-hand side. Hernandez gets past Harfouche. She tries to play it in the middle of the box, but it's McGee covering well and out to Radke, who tries to send Martins long. And it's Radke back to it, once again trying to send Martins. But pretty easy for Saboya to get onto that. And once again, Radke heavily involved on this left-hand side, being a little bit more decisive from an attacking standpoint. Play through the middle here now by Virginia Beach to Lozano. Sprays it out wide over to Wheatley. Williams trying to cover. Delves does get there ahead of that through ball. And now plays it back to her goalkeeper, Keely Thomas. who, despite being substituted last match at halftime in that 3-0 loss, made 15 saves in that 0-0 draw at Richmond Ivy to get that very crucial point in the season opener. And it has to be said, all 3 goals by that Annapolis side in the previous home match were very, very difficult saves by any goalkeeper at this level. Virginia Beach trying to cross it in, a low ball there, but McGee once again there to cover. No danger with that one. Walters drops in to receive the ball over to the left-hand side. And Thomas able to recover after Delves sprays it off the front of the attacking player, Diaz. Now, once again, distributing out of the back, but so much time and space. It seems like Virginia Beach maybe didn't take as many notes on last match as they should have, because Charlottesville really had trouble building out of the back after Annapolis just ceded possession, and the pressing just hasn't been on that same level of intensity from Virginia Beach. But a bad giveaway there from Harfouche. And once again, just trading possession, not too many clean passes in these transition potential moments. Sandra Martin's a good little chip over into herself. And Stavis plays her forward. She's found herself on the left-hand side, tries to find Delves, who's dropping in. And that will be recovered by McGee with the leader of this press as the first attacker, Walters, just standing firm, no urgency whatsoever. And if Charlottesville is going to be allowed this much time, you would think that at some point they have to unlock and break through this midfield for Virginia Beach. If they're just going to be giving this much time and space, there will be adjustments.
The lack of the press is very surprising considering how the Blues last game against Annapolis went. Annapolis really just dominated that game by pressing.
Hernandez looking to play an across in there for Walters, but just chopped it a little bit too much into the path of Thomas, and she's easily able to catch that one. Drops the ball, and once again, Charlottesville looking to build from the back. Seems like more of a 4-1-4-1 at the moment, out of possession for Virginia Beach, but that is obviously subject to change in terms of where the ball ends up going here for Charlottesville. It will be very fluid, but one to watch for sure. And once again, it's a lot of building down through the wings for Charlottesville in that match against Annapolis. Had a little bit more success trying to find Martins on the right-hand side, but with her playing centrally now and Delves and Radke being asked to be a little bit more aggressive on those wings, we'll see who can really form that type of partnership with one another. Given away here by Charlottesville, and it looked like that was Manabe trying to send in a ball, but just a little bit too late for Hernandez. Ryan receiving the ball, looking to find Delves. She chested down with a nice touch, but having to go back to Clausen. Williams opening that midfield. The ball not good enough to find the gap, and it's on the break now for Virginia Beach. The ball will try to play wide in for Hernandez. She picks it up, but Charlottesville's backline able to reset. And a ball is chipped over there, and a weak shot by Walters. Keely Thomas goes down to ground and easily recovers that one. I think that'll go down as a shot on target, though, but not too much of a troubling shot despite that Charlottesville backline being caught out a little bit. Harfouche asked to play a little bit wider here with Radke having to push up more, and it's given away once again. Lozano on the ball, goes for a very long range effort, but always drifting wide. And it is very windy here in Charlottesville despite the heat. And that could have some effect on some of these long range targets that obviously Charlottesville suffered from in that defeat to Annapolis. McGee on the ball here. Walter's really the only one that's being asked to press unless the ball does go out wide. At that point, this formation is able to, as you see, get onto Radke quickly. It's a ball over the top into Sandra Martins. She's taking on Laxey. Laxey with a nice recovery tackle, but it'll be a throw-in for Charlottesville deep into Virginia Beach territory. Just a bit congested on the left-hand side here. It'll be another throw-in for Charlottesville. Radke tries to get it into her teammate Stavis, but it'll be sprayed back out, and Charlottesville will look to reset. Looks like Stavis playing more of that number 10 role than Aileen Williams. Aileen having to drop back in a little bit. And here it's played in on the left wing for Diaz. She drops in, tries to find Lozano, but intercepted by Delves, and once again back out to Keely Thomas.
Blues fans, thanks to our sponsor, the English Inn of Charlottesville. Whether you're visiting for the weekend or hosting friends and family, the English Inn is your home away from home. With the timeless charm of an English Inn, the best hot
ball there from McGee, trying to find Williams, goes through to Stavis, and now it's Phoebe Ryan with a bit of space in attacking midfield. Sprays it out left to Radke. Will she be able to get the cross in here? She tries it, but it's too close to that close post and easily recovered by Kylie Cass. And immediately Virginia Beach looks to break down the left-hand side. A bit of an overload here with Wheatley running down the left and over to Diaz, but the ball just a little bit too far. And Charlottesville recovers possession.
A special welcome to all the youth soccer teams in attendance tonight at Youth Soccer Night. Presented
Eli, it seems like those balls into that midfield area from this back line are going to be available if this Virginia Beach press isn't as consistent as Annapolis was, but some of the touches and the efforts on these passes just haven't been there so far for Charlottesville, but you could see where they're trying to go through.
Yeah, we saw last week that even if we did create some semblance of a chance, the final ball and the end product just wasn't quite there. Hopefully, throughout this game, that can improve, and we will start to see Charlottesville create some real chances and perhaps score their first goal of the season.
"15 minutes gone here in the first half at Charlottesville High School Stadium. It was a bit of a slow start also against Annapolis until eventually the game-winning goal and first of the three by Annapolis was scored about 30 minutes in. And Charlottesville will be looking to play a much more consistent first half than a week ago. Ball out for a throw-in here on the near side by the scores table for Virginia Beach, and Saboya sends, but not on the same page with her attacker Hernandez. McGee tries to send a ball over the top, but recovered by that Virginia Beach midfield. Once again, Stavis fighting for possession, headed on for Sandra Martins, but a good recovery by Saboya. Actually not good enough, as there was an infringement there, and Charlottesville will get a free kick.
Charlottesville looking to play long a lot more than they did last week, which is interesting because they have more time on the ball this week, and they should be able to play out of the back a lot more consistently. However, they're still playing long.
Yeah, it seems like they're just a little bit unsure of themselves. The quality on the ball hasn't been there in midfield once again thus far, as Stavis tries to get it over to Delves. Two Virginia Beach players collapse on her, and the ball's played in from Diaz for Walters, but Clausen recovers, once again recovered by Virginia Beach. Manabe putting her body in the way of Ryan, but Ryan gets it back and has to play it out back to Harfouche, over to McGee. Here's Harfouche running down the left. Tries to send in Sandra Martins, but the timings are just a little bit off for the Charlottesville attack, despite having room to operate with. The weight on some of these balls is just not enough. And a very good recovery tackle there by Clausen, but it'll earn Virginia Beach its first corner kick of the match. And so we'll see what type of service Laxey can provide the center back for Virginia Beach on this ball into the box. It's sent in at the far post. Thomas punches it out, and a foul called against Virginia Beach. Thomas down, holding the side of her head, I believe. And the assistants will come on for Charlottesville, the trainers, to look over Thomas, who remains down. And I believe that was Idosa who came up to her to try to apologize and check on Thomas, and it seems like she'll be all right, just getting checked on here. You could see the Virginia Beach players using this time to get a bit of a hydration break. And Thomas seems to be in good spirits after that collision. Doing a bit of a warm-up. She should be good to continue. But for Charlottesville, Eli, I believe that it's going to be an interesting to see the balance in terms of how you balance subbing in and out all these players, having lineup changes, and also remaining consistent in a Chesapeake division that is very unforgiving in terms of the fact that you have to be first to qualify for the playoffs and have to be very, very on top of your game from minute one to qualify and even have a chance as we get into the swing of this season. Harfouche looks to send a long ball, but just too weakly hit for Sandra Martins to get to. Try to drop in very deep there. Stavis tries the pressure, but it's sprayed back out to Laxey. Hernandez on the ball looking to find Manabe. Walters sprays it back out to Hernandez. Will she get to that? No, just a little too much on that. And another goal kick for Charlottesville.
Things in life are the real deal. Since 2016, their family has been making shortbread cookies that are a total hat trick. Simple, delicious, and made with care. You can score some Little Things shortbread right here at the game, or visit their local shop right around the corner on Carlton Road to find a whole squad of house-made, small batch bakes, and specialty goods. Perfect for a halftime snack or a post-game treat. The Little Things shortbread by Found Market always hits
The one good thing about having these football lines on the field is that you're kind of able to tell a little bit better about just how far this Virginia Beach presses from actually pressuring the ball. As you saw Walters there on that goal kick being at about the 25-yard line. And that just tells you everything about the strategy that Virginia Beach is using here. Seems like Charlottesville hasn't, figured it out yet, so they won't be punished so far. But it seems like they're allowing Charlottesville to dictate possession and force them for turnovers, just not as eager to win the ball back from an effort standpoint in the press. Clausen on the ball here, over to McGee. And as we see, Harfouche tries to find Radke there, but just a little bit erratic on that one. And a throw in by Saboya over to Hernandez. She is ahead of Harfouche, but decides to step back, plays it over to Walters, who tries to swing that ball in. But I believe that was Williams to clear. Another ball sent in, but McGee is there once again. Or Clausen, rather, and yelling a little bit at her midfield, the rest of her back line, to be just a little bit more aggressive in terms of clearing those balls, getting to those second chance opportunities. But once again, a harmless attack by Virginia Beach United. Delves with time and space to pick out a pass, tries to play a ball in over the top, but it's dealt with by Edosa, only just for Schwartz to deal with. She's on this right-hand side, but not able to find Williams. And Walters, with a bit of hold-up play, gets it back over to her midfielder, Simon. But this midfield for Charlottesville, very, very high right now, able to win the ball back once again. Harfouche just with time and space on this past her own half. Schwartz tries to play it in for Martins, but good coverage by Edosa using her body. It was ruled as offsides anyways. We'll see as we get further on into this match if fatigue maybe plays a bit of a factor. It is early on in the season, but Virginia Beach with clearly the more loaded schedule to start the season with 4 matches already compared to the Blues 2, but they did also have around 10 days between their last match and tonight's matchup here in Charlottesville.
This is your sign. Let us help you connect. Go Blues.
Williams tries to hold Walters off, but a corner is given. Very good effort there in the final moments to earn her team a corner kick, the second of the afternoon here for Virginia Beach. And that first ball in on that corner had a lot of depth to it, a lot of good height, and resulted in Thomas going down, but definitely asked questions of her having to punch that ball out. Let's see what Laxey can do on this second chance. This time tries to play to the close post, almost looking to Olympico that one, but just hits the side netting. Thomas, I believe, was there to cover had it been on target. Here is Diaz down the left-hand side after Clausen misreads a tackle. She gets on her right foot, tries to throw a shot in, and it's in the back of the net. Diaz with the goal to make it 1-0 for Virginia Beach United. That's Cheyenne Diaz with her second goal now of the season. And that puts the visitors up 1-0 here in Charlottesville. It was a bad ball by Clausen trying to break through that midfield and tried to recover with the tackle, but Diaz beat her, got onto her favorable right foot, and put it too high for Thomas to get a finger on that.
Charlottesville, despite having so much time to play out of the back, trying to force the ball into midfield, giving it away, and it results in a goal. Much like last week, Charlottesville giving the ball away results in a goal.
And almost around the same point of the first half, too, that first goal for Annapolis last week was around the 30-minute mark. This one was scored in the 27th minute by Cheyenne Diaz, the left winger for Annapolis, and Martins flagged offside there after a quick chance following that goal by Virginia Beach. And now let's see if the tactics change a little bit, if the formation changes, what Virginia Beach especially decides to do, if they just continue to allow Charlottesville to dictate possession, or if they will maybe try and pile it on early just as Annapolis did to close out this first half. Harfush in midfield sends a long ball in for Schwartz, but that physical presence of Adosa has really kept things quiet for that dual striker setup for Charlottesville. Here is Williams fighting on the back line. And Delves looking to clear the ball, but it'll be yet another corner kick. Despite the lack of a press when Charlottesville looks to build out of the back, when they get into some moments deep into their own byline, it seems like Virginia Beach has really been on top of things, really forcing the issue. And so far, the distribution on these corner kicks has been pretty threatening. See what Laxey can do here. It goes into the center of the 6-yard box, and Thomas has to parry it out to her side, and now it's Schwartz trying to get to that, had to put a toe in on the top of the box so that Virginia Beach's pressure would be stabilized, and a ball in there for Hernandez, but her header goes just wide. Didn't get too much solid contact on that one. And it looks like it'll be a hydration break in the 30th minute for both these sides, with Virginia Beach leading 1-0 the visitors. And the goals continue to rain in here for Virginia Beach. That's now their 12th goal of the season in what is now its 5th match. Meanwhile, Charlottesville now on the season a 0 goals for to 4 goals against differential.
And after and during the next game too. Head on over, get yourself fueled up and hydrated. While you're over there, check out our merch tent so that you can look like the Blues.
Charlottesville, again, not creating too much. If I'm not mistaken, they haven't had a shot yet, Camille?
I don't believe so. I think Sandra Martins has had a couple of half chances ruled out offside. But besides that, neither of these two strikers have really been able to get going. The distribution out of midfield, once again, they just haven't been able to get these strikers into the game. Neither of them have really had many touches.
Again, Blues fans,
Nick Regan looking to talk things over during this hydration break, use it as another type of halftime of the first half. And Let's see if they can just put a little bit more pressure on before this first half closes out. Maybe get on the board here. These Blues fans have been starved a little bit of a goal from the women's side so far to start the season. And the teams will go back out there for the remaining 14 or so minutes of the first half. Seems like Radke and Harfouche talking things over about, where they should be positioned, how to exploit this lack of press from Virginia Beach. But eventually and it all comes down to is the quality on the ball, the weight on these passes. And that's been a real struggle for the Charlottesville team. Only a couple of games into this season, just simply combining 3 to 4 passes on the ball in possession. It's every time they try to build out, a player is pressured and gives the ball away. It just hasn't been calm enough. Radke pressured by Saboya, the right back for Virginia Beach. Good job there by Radke to be able to break out. Sandra Martins wins the ball, but Wheatley, the left back, able to get into midfield before Stavis could get on the end of it. And it's Diaz picking up the ball deep. And her and Wheatley able to combine. Diaz sprays the ball into midfield. Williams there to head it. Schwartz into Martins. Martins on the ball here. Tries to get past Adosa with a touch. Schwartz second best to it. And her center back partner, Laxe, clears it to the left. But the final touch seemed to go off a Charlottesville player. So it'll be a throw-in for Virginia Beach deep in their own half. Lozana there with a sweet move to beat her counterpart in midfield. And delves to take this throw in for Charlottesville. Tries to play it in over to Stavis. And a long ball in for Martins, but just not the profile for that. Neither of these strikers really with the profiles that Cook had last game for some of these long balls. They just don't really have that physical side to their game. And also have just not been able to link up in terms of 1-2 touch, short types of passes when they do get the ball high up the field. McGee tries to find Delves cutting in, but once again, just a bit too much. And Delves a little bit shaken up there after that. Maybe a foot wrong there, and she goes down and asking for the trainers. Now, that is not a good look for this Charlottesville side because Delves has really been one of the standout players from a creation standpoint. She's really been asked to play in many areas of the pitch and in build-up, and really one of the calmer presences on the ball. When her back is faced the goal, she's able to turn out of that and really pick her head up and run. But see if Nick Regan is forced to make an early substitution here 10 minutes before halftime. Potentially Dylan Copeland would be one option to replace. She came in last game for Harfouche, played as a wingback before the Annapolis game, but then when she came in for Harfouche, she had to slot into that left center back, or right center back actually, role. And Delves limping here, clearly needing help from the trainer to walk off the field. And that will be a big loss for the Charlottesville side. And it looks like it'll be Megan Dwyer ready to come on in place of Abby Delves. Number 15, Megan Dwyer. Wishing the best for Abby Delves as she's substituted out. Once again, Megan Dwyer in at right wing back for the Blues. We'll see if that maybe changes this formation a little bit based on how able and willing she is to play this role to the same quality as Delves. But immediately it's Virginia Beach on the ball here. Hernandez on the right wing trying to take on Harfouche. With her counterpart Walters looking to overlap. It's played into Manabe. The ball sent in but cleared out. And Saboya here. It's headed in by Walters but cleared by McGee. Only to the top of the box. Manabe with some really quick thinking. And it's another goal. A beautiful chip effort by Lozano. Anaya Lozano makes it 2-0 for Virginia Beach here in the 38th minute from the top of the box. And these overhead kicks have really been troubling for Thomas, not just last game, but already in the first half against Virginia Beach.
Charlottesville struggles to clear the ball there, and it falls to at the edge of the box. And it is a good goal. I mean, tough for Thomas.
And that now gives Lozano, puts her tied with Manabe now for the Golden Boot lead for Virginia Beach's players at 3 goals now on the season. And the dominoes just keep falling for the Charlottesville side as Sandra Martin's with a bit of physicality to hold off her defender. It's over to Radke on the left-hand side. But Saboya with some good coverage. Radke trying to come in, but no help. And now it's Manabe on the ball. Spins out of one tackle. But Ryan is there trying to take on 2 players as well as Saboya. But the final touch going off Ryan. And like I mentioned, the dominoes falling for Charlottesville with that first goal. Delves going down, and within not even 2 minutes, a second piled on by Virginia Beach. And that was the same case against Annapolis actually last weekend. So a bit of the same game script here, Eli. And once again, you see the signs of maybe where Charlottesville can find space, but it's just been down to the quality on the ball. Thrown here by Saboya. And Two had tried to get to that, but once again goes out. And Saboya looking to go deep with this throw in. It'll be Walters on the ball looking to find Manabe. She switches play over to the left back. Wheatley in some space. Assesses her options. Hernandez looking to make a run, but Wheatley just a little bit too late. Goes back out to Adosa. Now Wheatley once again on the ball. And Dwyer kind of being thrown into the fire here against Diaz. Lozano on the ball. Plays it back out to Simon. And a fantastic tackle there by Ryan. But once again, it's recovered by Saboya. A ball out wide to Manabe. She plays a long ball in. It goes over everyone's head. And Diaz trying to catch up to it in that left corner. But the play is called offside anyways. And the minutes. Only a couple minutes remaining here in the first half. Here is Stavis on the ball. A triangle of players looking to get her off of it, but Clausen tries to find Williams, but once again, it's just 2 in front of her, and the Virginia Beach player is able to pick it up. A long shot by Diaz, I believe, that was easily dealt with by Thomas. Not enough power on it. But still testing the goalkeeper, who's, of course, given up 2 goals in this first half. Never a bad idea to test your luck.
Virginia Beach pressing a little bit more now to end out this half. Definitely not as much as Annapolis did throughout the whole game, but you can see them since the second goal is going in. I think they can see that they can really put this game to bed within this first half.
That's definitely put a jump in their step, these 2 goals, and they're just smelling blood in the water at this point, looking to close it out. In this first half, a fantastic touch by Hernandez to take it to her left. She tries a shot on target, pressured by the defender, and it goes wide, so nothing for Thomas to save. But you can just see the difference in the calmness and quality on the ball between these two sides. And it's no wonder that this entire attacking trio, as well as these attacking midfielders, have really gotten in on the fun this season from a goal scoring perspective. All of them just on the same page for the most part, especially when they win the ball back high. Saboya wins the ball back. Walters picks up the ball, and Lozano covered by Thomas coming off of her line. It'll be another corner kick for Virginia Beach. Looking to add a third here as the final minutes wind down in this first half.
Definitely upping the pressure now, looking to get that third.
Looks like it'll be Laxe on this close near side for this corner kick. She was taking the far side ones as well, so looks like this one will be a bit of an outswinger with that right foot. See how much power she can generate. And cleared by McGee, but only out to Walters, I believe that was. But a shot off target, and once again, Thomas picks up the ball.
But again, the clock will stop at 45 minutes. Official time is kept on the field.
Radke on the ball, trying to find Ryan, but it's picked up in midfield by Virginia Beach. A bit too naive there from the Virginia Beach player, and Thomas on the ball here. Walters believes she's been tripped up by McGee, but nothing given. That was a little bit off the ball, so a little bit harsh to call there in terms of trying to appeal for a penalty, but the ball's picked up in midfield now by Virginia Beach. It's Diaz on the ball, turns her back. Walters tries to beat another player, but the touch is too strong. And once again, it's out for a goal kick. Clausen in possession. Back to Thomas. The final seconds ticking off of this first 45. We'll see how much stoppage time we get from the assistant referee here in this first half. There has been a water break. Delves went down. Also, Keely Thomas went down with a bit of a knock. Was able to get up, but Delves being the main stoppage of play with her injury as she was substituted off for Megan Dwyer. A bit of some good link up there from Saboya and Hernandez, and Radke able to get to it eventually, but it'll be a throw-in near the corner flag for Virginia Beach. Looks like it'll be 4 minutes of added time with all those stoppages. And the energy has just certainly dropped off a little bit for Charlottesville here. McGee on the ball, but really none of her midfielders looking to step up. Eventually, Williams comes, but it's only sprayed out to Clausen. It's on her to kind of spring this build-up. Schwartz dropping in over to Ryan on the left-hand side, and now Williams able to break. It's Radke unleashing down the left-hand side. Tries to play a ball in for Sandra Martins. She beats her defender, but eventually recovered by Edosa. On the right-hand side here, a shot. Oh, just wide into the side netting by the substitute, I believe, Megan Dwyer. That would have been some way to mark her appearance into this match just before the stroke of halftime.
We saw there what Charlottesville can do when the style of play does work, when they are able to string the passes together. It is beautiful football. The issue is over the last 2 games, it just hasn't, the quality just hasn't been there, and we haven't been able to create moments like that.
Absolutely. That moment is exactly what Nick Regan is looking for out of this formation, out of this style of play, but it just hasn't been consistent enough that the passes into these spaces haven't been of the right standard. McGee pressured by Walters here, but able to hold her off, and the attack of Hernandez. Ryan gets it over to Stavis, back to Ryan. She has to look backwards, though. It's Harfouche now with Hernandez marking. A ball played into Schwartz. That's good hold-up play, but not the best touch. And Adosa clears it back into midfield with Walters dropping in deep. The captain Manabe receives, plays it over to Hernandez. Manabe looking to make a run down the wing, just a little bit wider than she normally plays, but you can see her confidence in this one-on-one against Radke. She tries to take her down the touchline, but just a little overzealous on that final ball roll. Received here up high by Virginia Beach, and it's a fantastic effort by Lozano, but it just rings off the right post. Keely Thomas was absolutely stuck in the middle of her goal and had absolutely no chance at saving that, but will definitely be thanking her post there for keeping this one a 2-0 game, as Virginia Beach will get another corner. Corner swung in here by Laxe. It goes to the far, way past the far post, headed on by Diaz, but it's won by Charlottesville, looking to spring to attack, but the referee blows for halftime, and unfortunate timing there for Charlottesville, who finds itself down 2-0 to the visitors, Virginia Beach United. A bit of the same game script from last week against Annapolis, and Nick Regan's side still looking for its first goal of the 2025 summer season. They'll look to talk things over halftime and come out stronger here for the second half at Charlottesville High School Stadium. We'll see you in about 20 minutes or so for the second half. We welcome you back in here to Charlottesville High School Stadium for second half action between the Charlottesville Blues and Virginia Beach United, with the visitors leading 2-0 after goals from Cheyenne Diaz and Anaya Lozano. And Virginia Beach starts the second half attacking to the left-hand side with Charlottesville in the whites, Virginia Beach in the reds, and it seems like no halftime changes for either side. From what we can tell, the only change in that first half, Abby Delves coming off for Megan Dwyer at right wing back for the Blues. And we'll see, Eli, if the Blues can be just a little bit more aggressive and have a little bit more control and calmness on the ball to try and eat into this lead for the visitors.
Yeah, struggle to create chances in that first half. Only one shot. Hopefully they can create a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, as you alluded to, 10 shots to 1 in favor of the visitors, with also a post, one going off the post as part of that, as the ball's played in behind for the attacker, Walters, but McGee able to clear over to Thomas, and it's back in midfield. But once again, the ball just a little bit too much on that, and Thomas once again able to assess things. McGee, a ball over the top, and trying to find Dwyer there, but it'll go out for a throw, and she takes it quickly. Williams on the ball with her back turned, plays it out back to Clausen, and once again, this press from Virginia Beach seems like entering the second half, while they ended the first half a little bit more aggressively due to the fact that they got that bit of a pep in their step from the goals. Here, they'll just be looking to absorb any type of pressure that Charlottesville brings and close this match out on the road. Sandra Martins wins a throw-in on that far hand side near the corner flag. Stavis wins the ball back up high, takes it to her left foot, but the shot is deflected there by Simon, and it'll go out for, I believe, the first Charlottesville corner of the afternoon. So a bit of a more positive start to the second half. We'll see if Sandra Martins can make a fine delivery here on this set piece.
All right, fans, time for a Blues corner. Let's make some noise out there. Let them hear you cheer on your Charlottesville Blues.
Martins to take with her right, an in-swinging ball at the far post, and a bit of a scrum there, and it's Ryan trying to get on the end of it, but it's deflected twice, spills back out to McGee. She has to play it back out to Radke, and Virginia Beach able to reset a little bit, but Martin's now in a one-on-one situation against Saboya. Takes a long-range effort, but the goalkeeper, Cass, able to deal with it easily. And now Charlottesville drops off just a little bit. We'll see how they deal with Virginia Beach trying to build out of the back, or will Cass play along? She will.
A better start to this half for Charlottesville, getting a corner, getting a shot. Hopefully they can continue to build on that momentum for the rest of the half, maybe get back into this game.
Schwartz on the ball, dropping in a little bit. It's one back in midfield by Manabe. Those quick feet, able to change direction and calms things down a little bit to her right back. Saboya back to Manabe, able to hold off Williams. And Laxe in for Hernandez, sprays it back out. Hernandez once again on the ball, trying to send in Manabe, but some tired legs there. She was involved in that entire build-up, trying to cover a lot of ground, but that ball in behind just too powerful. McGee in for Stavis. She turns, looking to find Radke, and it's Sandra Martins running on the left wing. But Laxe just concedes the throw-in and relieves a little bit of pressure there. Radke with the cross in, goes over the head of the left back Wheatley. And Adosa there too, clear, and it's there for Lozano to build out through midfield. You could see the opportunity for transition. Manabe over to Hernandez. And those two defensive midfielders for Charlottesville just dropping in, allowing Manabe the space to pick out a pass and switch play. It'll be Diaz here playing into the middle. Manabe as an option. She takes it herself, finally lays it off to the right-hand side. Cuts in on her left, tries to play in a ball. It actually spills through over to Lozano, who plays in a ball, crosses it in, and it's a third goal for Virginia Beach United. A tap-in, easily put in by the attacking player, and it only gets worse for the home side, Charlottesville. Not the start the home side wanted to the second half, Eli.
No, definitely not. After a little bit of success right at the beginning of the half, once again they concede.
Virginia Beach goal scored by
Took the space midfield. Manabe, the creator. She's been involved in 2 goals now of the 3. Sandra Martin's putting her body in the way of Manabe. Tries a long-range effort, but goes out for the goal kick for Cass.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love, go Blues.
Hernandez and Saboya with the 1-2. Manabe switches play for her other central midfielder, Lozano, who finds Walters in space, trying to play in a through ball for Diaz, but Wheatley on the ball, over to Diaz. Back to Wheatley, a beautiful run there, cuts it back for Walters, but her chipped attempt just wide of the right post. And Thomas can exhale a little bit. McGee over to Harfouche, Radke. Saboya pressing, Radke having to spray a hopeful ball out into midfield, not able to be retrieved by Martins. But it'll be a throw-in, quickly taken for Martins, but Saboya quicker to it. Radke with yet another long ball. Schwartz trying to head it on into her own path, but great awareness there by Cass, and picks it up at the edge of her 18-yard box. Cass with the long ball into midfield, and Virginia Beach has done a fantastic job of winning all of these second balls and just putting in the effort in midfield. And Charlottesville here just not able to get a touch on the ball. Virginia Beach playing a bit of keep away. The Dosa even coming into midfield. Everyone getting involved in this build-up for Virginia Beach. It's lovely to watch how they switch sides, distribute the ball, and force this Charlottesville formation to rotate.
Virginia Beach's composure on the ball throughout the entire game has been really good. They really haven't made many mistakes and given the Blues an opportunity to counter.
Silky touch there on the to backheel it to herself by Adosa. Manabe in possession over to Lozano. Walters dropping in a little bit, spraying it out to Saboya, who will overlap. Can she beat Radke for the cross? A nice little dummy there, but eventually Radke gets a touch to it. It'll be yet another corner for the visitors. Laxey's put in a lot of great in-swinging balls on these crosses. Has really challenged Keely Thomas, but nothing has come of these corner kicks yet for Virginia Beach. Let's see if they can continue to punish Charlottesville and add a fourth on this one.
Just landed in Charlottesville. Check out BoarsHeadResort.com.
Laxey to take. Bit of an outswinger at the far post, and it goes over everyone's head once again. Eventually blocked by McGee after an effort by Lozano. Out of all people, it's Adosa in the center of the box picking it up, having to half turn, trying to play her teammate Simon back on the ball, but once again goes out of play, and this time it'll be a goal kick for Charlottesville. McGee asking for one of her midfielders to drop in. The wide areas are really congested, and it's just been more of the same from that other 3-0 loss to Annapolis. It's just been a little bit too stagnant from this Charlottesville midfield in terms of getting on the ball, dictating the game, and really taking some responsibility when building out from the back. And as a result of another giveaway, it'll be another set piece for the visitors, Virginia Beach. Once again, it's Laxey to take, this time in swinging a ball to the top of the box, headed on by Walters, but from a deep area, and not enough power on that one to really trouble Keely Thomas from the top of the 18-yard box. Thomas here spraying it out to Radke. She's able to blitz past Manabe, who is certainly tired from being a bit of a box-to-box at the moment. Sends it over to Sandra Martins, who plays it back out wide for Schwartz. Martins had a little bit of space there to work with one-on-one, but Schwartz here beating her defender with an in-swinging ball to the left close post, but Cass comfortably catches that one and immediately sends her left back, Wheatley, down the left-hand side. Lozano back for Adosa. A bit of miscommunication there, but Cass able to get to it before Schwartz could punish this Virginia Beach. And regardless, here it's the substitute, Megan Dwyer, on the ball. She earns a throw-in on this near-hand side. Throw-in goes backwards, and now it's once again Harfouche having to find one of her teammates, Radke, with a ball in over the top, but easily cleared by Laxey with the headed effort. Hernandez back out to Saboya. Once again, Hernandez, I believe that'll be a Charlottesville throw-in, and it is. Charlottesville clearly looking to go quickly on a lot of these throw-ins, try to catch Virginia Beach slacking just a little bit. The overhead pass from Schwartz to Martins just goes too far. Martins not able to get to it. Still no shots on target for Charlottesville as we approach the 60th minute. It's been all Virginia Beach here as Charlottesville is looking down the barrel of back-to-back 3-0 or even worse potentially home losses to start this 2025 season. Virginia Beach winning the ball back up in midfield. Once again, it's Manabe with a bit of a dummy. Plays it over to her other midfielder, and now Diaz on the ball. Tries to cut it and curl the ball, but it's deflected by Clausen. And here Virginia Beach will get a throw in. It seems like we'll be getting a quartet of substitutes. It'll be Ellie Cook, Barrett Callejo, Laura Holm, and Dylan Copeland coming into the game for Abby Schwartz, Sandra Martins, Charlotte Stavis, and one other player that we will try to get over to you when possible. But clearly Nick Regan seeing enough from several of his starting players and looking to switch things up. Did the same when they were 3-0 down to Annapolis, and Callejo being one of those substitutions. She'll be likely operating down the right-hand side, but we'll see if these subs change this adapted formation for the Blues.
Some substitutions for your Charlottesville Blues. Entering the game, number 10, Barrett Callejo, replacing number 18, Abby Schwartz. Entering the game,
Both strikers for Charlottesville coming off here. Ellie Cook, a bit more of a physical presence than the ones that were on before. Maybe Charlottesville looking to play some long balls up to her, possibly create something off of that.
Absolutely, and it seems like a little bit of a head scratcher as far as not making the starting lineup today. It seems like a lot of Charlottesville's balls in behind and just long balls into the midfield. She could have benefited from that, but Sandra Martins and Schwartz didn't really have that same type of profile to deal with those, and for the most part, Adosa for Virginia Beach was clearly won that battle.
Adosa has been really outstanding so far. Not only has she been a very physical presence in the back, she's also been great on the ball and helping Virginia Beach play out from the back, something the Blues have not been able to do.
Here it's McGee on the ball, switching play over to Harfouche. Can she find the right pass? Laura Holm in midfield, but once again given away by the substitute. A good bit of play there from Harfouche to step up and get Radke in transition. She plays it over to Holm in midfield, looking for options, has to go backwards once again. Cook over to Williams. Sprayed out wide for Dwyer. She's looking for Callejo in the box, but decides to take it herself. Beats Adosa, puts the cross in, but over the heads of both those Charlottesville attackers, and Radke now all the way down the left-hand side puts another cross in, and it goes untouched out of play. It'll be a goal kick for Virginia Beach.
Again, for Charlottesville, the final ball just not quite to the right quality.
A good sequence of passes there, but once again, like you said, Eli, just that final cross, that final bit of decision-making just hasn't been clicking for the Charlottesville side. And as the further this goes on, that they aren't able to get on the board for this 2025 season, it starts to take a bit of a mental toll, you'd have to think, as far as how much they believe in their abilities, how confident they are on the ball as individually and as a whole. Holm winning the ball back in midfield, gets fouled by Laxey, I believe. Actually, that'll be Carlin Kiters, a substitute for Virginia Beach. In midfield, so at least one substitution made by this Virginia Beach side as they try to, of course, hold on to this lead. The referee allows play on, and it's a long ball in through the left-hand side to Diaz. Looks like Shara Shantush in at striker. An attempt there by Diaz, but I think that hit off McGee's head and just went over that far post. And it'll be a corner kick for Virginia Beach. Corner put in here. Adosa almost getting to that, but just a little bit too high. A shot saved by Keely Thomas. A low driven shot into the left post. Right post, rather. Sprayed out to the side by Thomas. Some good reflexes there, but yet another corner that Charlottesville will have to deal with. There's been some really good lift by Laxey on these balls. It's really, the placement as well has been phenomenal in and around that 6-yard box, but no one able to get to a lot of these. And as I say it, that one goes over the top of the goalpost and out of play. And a bad self-inflicted mistake from Radke there. Putting the ball out of play for a throw-in for Virginia Beach. Can Charlottesville find any semblance of continuity, of confidence on the ball? Can they, once again, it seems like we're beating the same drum here, Eli, but was the same situation last time. Can they use at the very least these final moments of the game to use it as something to build off of going forward as this season continues? Can these subs provide some sort of spark? It's Radke here in some space. Will she take it herself? She hesitates for a moment, which allows Hernandez to get back, but once again, Radke blows by, and it's Holme with really no one in support. Oh, great ball in behind there. Callejo with the effort, but it's blocked by Cass. She gets it back, tries to play it in for Cook. And very physical. But the play eventually ruled offside. That was more of what Charlottesville was looking for. Holme was on an island all alone, trapped by about 4 or 5 Virginia Beach players, and Callejo made the darting run, and almost brilliant timing there for that effort on goal, but ruled out offside. But some great awareness by Holme to send in her teammate and just give just a little bit of a spark for the Charlottesville side in these final 21 minutes or so.
Definitely more positive for Charlottesville. Able to play through the lines that time, and a good ball in behind. You'd like to see that chance get finished off, but definitely something that Charlottesville can build on. Hopefully it gives them some more confidence for the last 20 minutes of this game.
Megan Dwyer went chasing for a ball there down the right-hand side, but touched out by Virginia Beach. It'll be a throw-in for the Blues. So we got to get another throw in here for Charlottesville. And it looks like another substitution. It'll be Aileen Williams off for Abigail Smith. Or excuse me, Ellie Deal for the Charlottesville Blues. So another replacement in midfield. And that's now 6 substitutes used by Charlottesville. So once again, this balance of trying to get players minutes in this shortened summer season, while at the same time looking for some sort of chemistry continuity. It's been hard to find so far for the Blues 3 matches into their 2025 season.
Substitutions for your Charlottesville Blues. Entering the game, number 14, Sinclair Hart, replacing number 17, Phoebe Ryan. Hart for Ryan. Entering the game, number 19, Ellie Deal, replacing number 23, Aileen Williams. Deal for Williams. For Virginia Beach, entering the game, number 19, Abigail Smith, replacing number 4, Anaya Lozano. Smith for Lozano. And entering the game, number 21, Camilla Dobrnicki, replacing number 20, Maria Hernandez. Dobrnicki for Hernandez.
So it'll also be for Virginia Beach, Camilla Dobrnicki for Maria Hernandez into the game. So a couple of substitutions made on that front 3 for Virginia Beach. They've done their job this afternoon, as here is Shantosh in midfield, stumbles over herself, and Holme able to win it back, sending Radke wide. It's only Callejo up in attack. Some really limited options. Not the best run as well, and Radke really trapped on an island there, having to spray back out to Harfouche. It'll be Shantosh pressing McGee, who will give it over to Copeland with some time and space to work with. Deal sends it over to Dwyer, who misreads the timing on that, and it goes out for a Virginia Beach throw-in.
Blues fans, if you're ready for some seriously good tacos, Torchy's Tacos is bringing the flavor with bold, in-your-face tacos, legendary queso, and ice-cold margs that are total game changers. From their creative taco of the month to those addictive queso cravings, they're more than a taco spot.
Callejo looking to win that ball there on the touchline, but foul is called, and it'll be Adosa to take this very deep free kick. Shirley will just boot it down this left-hand side and for Charlottesville to win these physical battles that they have been second best to all afternoon. But that one goes just wider than what she would have liked, and it'll be a throw-in for Charlottesville. McGee here to take the throw in, takes it long. Callejo goes over her head, but it'll be Holme here winning it. But once again, dealt with by the midfield for Virginia Beach, and that's Kiters there. McGee to Harfouche. A nice little touch there to leave Shantosh second best to that, and another battle in midfield here, but Harfouche able to step in. Radke on the ball once again. As we approach now the final 15 minutes of the second half and this match, it still remains 3-0 in favor of Virginia Beach, as Dwyer takes on her defender there. And gets a quarter out of it after winning that battle against Wheatley. Looks like it'll be Deal to take this one, taking over responsibilities for Sandra Martins on the set pieces. And it looks like it'll be an outswinger, but a low one at that, and easily dealt with by the first player at the front post. And a chip in over the top by Copeland, but just not on the same page as her teammates.
A special welcome to all the youth soccer players here tonight for Youth Soccer Night presented by Carter Myers Automotive. Proudly serving Virginia for more than 100 years, CMA is an employee-owned dealership group.
And so we'll have our second and final hydration break as we enter the final phases of the match. See if any other substitutions are made. It seems like Charlottesville certainly the team of the two stretching its limits for the substitutions made. 6 so far. And result maybe already definitely not in doubt, as Virginia Beach well on their way to a third victory in 5 games. This would make it back-to-back wins after last match's win against Richmond Ivy, who they've already played twice with 1 win. The most recent one being 2-0 at home, and on the road they lost 3-0 to open up the season. That'll make it 14 goals at the moment as it stands for Virginia Beach through 5 matches. Head and shoulders above the rest of the Chesapeake Division from an attacking standpoint.
Individual tickets and season tickets available at CharlottesvilleBluesFC.com. All right, fans, as they retake the field, make some noise for your Charlottesville Blues!
Blues fans here at Charlottesville High School Stadium looking to cheer on their team, inspire some sort of comeback, or at the very least a bit of some magic at the end of this game. Virginia Beach with a ball in behind, but it's ruled offside. Ella Anderson there looking to play in her teammate Dobrnitsky. But the timing on that was just a little bit too late. Good on the Charlottesville backline to maybe step a little bit early and play the offside trap. Cahill wins it in midfield. She sends it over to Dwyer, whose touch is too poor. And outside of that one opportunity at the end of the first half, where she had the only shot of the first half that went into the side netting in a beautiful phase of play by Charlottesville, Dwyer has not really played at the same level of quality that Delves brought in that right wing back position. And as we know, just an unfortunate sequence of events that led to Delves' replacement being put into this match and her getting injured. Hopefully she can recover just as Harfouche did from last match into this one, and hopefully it's not too much of a long-term she but by the looks of it, don't want to speculate, just seemed like she was in a lot of pain at the very least. McGee to take this free kick, but no one on the end of that, and just a little bit too much pace on it for anyone to get to it. And once again, it'll be a stoppage in play. There's been a lot of those when it's come to the final sequences and the result of a lot of these Charlottesville half chances, half attacks. Eventually, it's always ended up in a goal kick. Virginia Beach winning the ball back up high, but the referee rules for a infringement there, and Charlottesville catching a bit of a break with now just 9 minutes to go in regular time. McGee takes the free kick quickly, but Simon quick to it. Seems like a non-contact injury there. She was a little slow to get up, but eventually jogging it off. Copeland tries to do with a long ball there, but one in midfield by Virginia Beach and Anderson. Adosa there for Kiters. Laxey in for Simon. And Virginia Beach just building out from this right-hand side. But that ball just a little bit too much for the Virginia Beach attackers to get to. McGee clears, but it'll be go out for another Virginia Beach throw-in. Virginia Beach here on the ball. It's been really comfortable for them since taking that 3-0 lead, and especially in these final phases as the energy starts to die out for both teams. Charlottesville's press at the same time has not been up to standard, and here it'll be a free kick at about that 30-yard line marker. So certainly too far to think about for Laxey, but could potentially find a runner in the box, a big body, but she decides to just send it short wide for, I believe, Simon, who will put in a cross that it has too much height on it. And Thomas able to deal with that one easily. Here is Radke over to Callejo. She has some space to work with. Bit of a 3-on-2 developing with now Sinclair Hart back to Callejo. Can she get to that one? No, it's just a little bit too much on that one. And once again, it ends in another goal kick for Charlottesville. Opportunity was there. The space was there to attack, but just the not the right set of combination passing from the Blues. Foul called against Virginia Beach United again on Harfouche. Believe that was Dobranitsky being cautioned. And once again, with just now 5 minutes or so in regulation, Virginia Beach happy to let Charlottesville take control of possession and attempt to claw its way back into this match, but it was certainly too late for any of those types of talks. As a foul there called against Sinclair Hart on Ella Anderson. long free kick here taken by Adosa. A nice header there on for her teammate, and an attempting clearance there by Copeland. Off Shantash, and it'll be a goal kick. Shantash almost threw on goal there. A good bit of combination play between her and Abigail Smith. And here it's Kiters on the ball towards the top of the box. Tries to curl a ball in, but it's off the head of McGee, and that deflection is dealt with by Thomas. First to it. Radke in space again, but closed down quickly by Simon, and the Blues will win a throw-in with Radke running up to take. As we approach the final couple of minutes of this second half, we ask you to stay around on the Sports Engine Play app, as there is a offside rule there against the Blues. We ask you to stay around on the Sports Engine Play site app, whatever you are streaming through, and be aware that we will also be streaming the men's game between the Charlottesville Blues and Virginia Beach United. Kickoff set for 7:30. That'll be on a separate link or page on the NBC Sports Engine Play site, so be sure to tune into that, as well as we round off the night in the second match of our doubleheader here between the Blues and Virginia Beach. And it's a ball played in there for Cook, but it's taken by Laxey and dealt with. Kiters on the ball, and she sends it wide for Simon. A good bit of composure there, but Radke wins it back in midfield, turns her shoulder, and Hart decides to spray back to McGee. Copeland on the ball here, replacing Clausen in that 3 at the back. Once again, here is Shantash on the ball from long distance. Will she make an effort at goal? No, she turns her back and plays it back to Dull. And now Simon getting past her marker to send a ball in. It's Shantash on the ball. Mishits that effort. Played back out to another Virginia Beach player, but just got too much under that ball and was always rising. It'll be a throw-in for Virginia Beach with about 20 seconds remaining in normal time. We'll see how much the referee decides that on. Not too many stoppages in the second half compared to the first, only that hydration break. And Virginia Beach just counting down the seconds as they look to take yet another 3 points from a road match and continue to add to the Blues' woes at home this season.
The fourth official has indicated 1 minute of extra time. 1 minute of extra time. A reminder that the time is kept on the field.
It'll be 1 minute of stoppage time here to close this one out, as Holme tries to send in Radke for one final effort, but easily dealt with there by Laxey. Radke having to stall a little bit on the throw-in. Sends in a cross really without picking her head up, and it's won back by Virginia Beach. And now Shantosh able to spring forward. Can she add a fourth? No. Actually, McGee also mistimes her tackle. The two collide, but it goes out wide to Dobrynitsky. Harfouche winning the ball back, and the referee looking at his watch already and decides to blow the whistle. That'll be enough between these two teams. And the final result here at Charlottesville High School Stadium, Virginia Beach, the visitors, winners in Charlottesville, 3-0 against the Charlottesville Blues. And so that moves Virginia Beach to 3 wins and 2 losses on the season. Meanwhile, for the Blues, they'll move to 0 wins, a draw, and 2 losses to start this 2025 season in the Chesapeake Division. And the Blues will move on and look forward to a rematch immediately with the Annapolis Blues immediately this Wednesday, June 4th, on the road, where they will look to pick up their first win of the season and score their first goal, still searching for that first shot in the back of the net. For Camille Goot and Eli Bertoni, thank you once again for tuning in to this broadcast on Sports Engine Play. We invite you to come on to the next broadcast between the men's sides, and we'll see you soon with Marshall Lamert. Thank you once again, and we'll see you tonight.